Today I'm going to walk you through how I replaced my Saniplus Macerating pump with this Wowflo one I bought online for half the price. I'm going to tell you how I did it, give you some tips on the installation, and tell you what I think about it. Stick with us. Here's the old unit we want to take out of here. It's a Saniplus unit, and the problem is this GFI plug here. As soon as you plug it in, it trips the GFI, so it's basically useless. Don't expect it to be too serviceable inside, and I'm not really interested in doing that anyway. So I'm going to be putting in this replacement found on Amazon. It's a Wowflo. About half the price of a replacement Saniplus or Saniplus. So we're going to try that. It is not a direct drop-in replacement. So in here you'll see that's the output right there. That's on the right-hand side of the new unit, and then the vent back there is in a similar location, but I'm going to have to connect that as well. So first thing I want to do, though, is get as much of the water out of this system as I can. I'm going to try and use the wet function of the shop vac. First time I've used it, and I figured there's probably no better time than this job right here to try it out. So here it goes. That's vacuumed out. I vacuumed out the bowl too. I spared you all that. No need to see that. So we should be good, at least water-wise, down to this point. There should be a auto-close valve in there to prevent stuff from coming back down. At least I hope there is. The trick, there's not a shut-off here that I can see. So I'm going to be relying on the one inside. I don't want to take this off until I can look inside there. Maybe what I'll do is I'll take the toilet out and then see if I can get at it from the inside, so at least there's a spot to catch some of it. Otherwise, it's gonna get messy, but there's no way around it. So I'll try and do it as carefully as I can. So let's move the toilet. All right, with that drained, I'm going to take this hose clamp off here and pray to anyone who will listen. Whew, not too bad. At this point, I wanted to put the new one in just in place, set it in here to check out sizing, and it looks pretty good. It is a little bit smaller, so I'm going to need probably an extension on this pipe from the shower and the sink. The vent. This is the vent for the new one. It's going to be pretty close here, but I'm probably going to have to cut that off and come down a bit sooner. The tricky one is going to be the discharge, which is on the other side of the new one. So it's going to have to come up and get over to there and avoiding the vent at the same time. So that will be fun. Otherwise, I think it's okay sizing wise. It looks like a workable height for the connection to the toilet, so I don't need to worry about trying to raise or lower this thing. Now I just got to finish taking the rest of this out. I should note there should be a flap in here that keeps the stuff from coming back, but I'm just making sure. Trying to be as careful as I can. What I'm hoping to do is disconnect this pipe and get the shop vac in there, open the flap with the shop vac nozzle and suck anything out that's in there and keep it from going anywhere. shut-off valve just went off. I think it was just enough to get it done though. And you're welcome for not using a camera that can record smells. With the vent detached, the only thing left is the discharge pipe with no shutoff. I put together this incredibly complex system to try and catch what I can off into the bucket. Hopefully the bucket is big enough. If it's not, I have the shop vac on standby to suction out of the bucket. Hope there's not too much in the pipe, and I hope it doesn't siphon from the other line, which it shouldn't, but you never know. So the camera ran out of battery, but you didn't miss anything. It was pretty anticlimactic. There was nothing in the pipe, which kind of indicates to me that maybe the backflow preventer in the unit itself is malfunctioning, which would explain all the poopy water in there. So that's some good news. I have this all detached now. I can just get rid of the old unit, and I'm probably going to open the wall up here, I think, because I'm not terribly fond of the way this goes. I'd like to maybe come into it higher up and with 45-degree angles instead of these 90-degree corners, just to make it a little bit easier on the motor for pumping up. I ripped some of the wall out here to make it easier to reinstall this, and this, I did notice there is a check valve installed in here, which is why there wasn't as much coming out as I thought there might be. So thank you for that, previous homeowner. Now I'm going to tap into this just down here. So I'm going to cut this off here, and I'll come out this way on a 45 and bring it out, because it has to land out here somewhere, and then I should be able to come down off of this to tap in for the vent, and they shouldn't interfere with one another. But that's the next thing. So get this cut off, put the new piece in here, plan out all the hardware I need from the box store, and pick it up and then start putting it back together. The worst part is through, I hope. I think. Should be. And before I put this in, I'm going to put the plug in this side because we don't need it, and this elbow on here just because I might as well put it on while I have access to it. And this just fits in, and it has an O-ring there to keep stuff from coming out, but there's no pressure, so it's it doesn't have to be a super intense seal. And looking at it, there's flats on here. Those need to be on the verticals, so straight up and down. And it should fully seat, and then you know it's good. Give it a turn to lock it in place. And that's done. Let's put it in. Okay, we've got everything in here in a dry fit. It is very important to do a dry fit before you actually glue it. You'll learn lots of stuff about it. It helps you check that you have all the hose clamps you need, for one. but also the order in which you can put stuff together. Now I know after the dry fit, I know I need to do down here first, because that's the only way I can access this pipe, because there's not a lot of flexibility in this. So I can slide this unit back, slide it on when I'm assembling it. If I had all this glued in beforehand, I wouldn't be able to do that. It also, on pieces like this, it lets you pick where you're going to do your join. I have the most flexibility up here. So, and plus this was already assembled from the previous pipe. So this is where I'm going to mate it. So I'll build all this up and then plug it into here. And then on the smaller PVC pipe, this long stretch here has the most flexibility due to this being able to move some, this being able to move a bit. So I will make this my join, build it from the wall out to here, and then from here up, and then I have flexibility to do this seam here. So this all looks, I'm happy with it. Really, it's just gluing it now. I do have, since I have PVC and ABS, I got to use two different types of cement. It's important to use the type that you need for the plumbing. So I got ABS for this here, and I got PVC for the discharge pipe. So that's it. It should be as simple as just disassembling this and reassembling in the reverse order with the glue on it. Then I can slide the toilet back in. All glued up. I don't like working with that stuff. You gotta move pretty quickly. I didn't get it lined up quite as good as I had it when I dry fit, but everything still seems good. So, next thing, I gotta get this onto the back of the toilet, so I gotta slide that back in and put this over the outlet on the back and tighten up the hose clamp and turn this around actually now, so it's easier to get at, to tighten it down. Toilet's connected, the water line back to the toilet's connected. I still have the top off because when we test it, we're going to test it with the sink because I want to control how much water goes in it in case there's a problem. So here goes nothing. I assume it has to fill up inside. Oh, there goes. I'll leave it running a bit more. Make sure there's no leaks on this side. I don't see anything there either. All right. That's great. And it seems to be a lot quieter than the one we had in there, which is also an added benefit. Okay, I'm going to open the water for the toilet. Now let's give it the ultimate test. Alrighty, we got a full tank of water here. So let's give her a flush. Make sure everything works. Call it a day, hopefully. Full tank on. No leaks that I can see. Seems good. Time will tell, I guess, but short term, I think that's a good substitute for the Saniflush that we had there. I'll update in the comments too if things go south with this thing.